looked
Good
at the news
question.
and saw all of this stuff. So what do I do with that now?
Crashed out.
You see,
And they telling you all this stuff about their spouse cheating or being abused and all
dispatching to
that.
911. I became cold to things because people die every day. People get shot every day. These things happen every day. So I was like, okay, this is just a norm.
It's Candid Talk where we lay it down. No room for fakes, we wear the crown. Feel the rhythm, catch the connection. Tune in the truth, let's spark the reflection. Tune in the truth, let's spark the reflection. So kick back now, stay in the zone. Candid Talk, we make it out.
Let's start getting into it. I'm curious to know, like, what was it? What was your first thought, or when you actually seen it?
I'm actually well aware of secondary trauma.
Mm,
I read a lot of psychology books, so that's something that I learned about like in my teen years for some
mm,
reason. They just rename things as time goes along and add a few different
right.
words to it, but it still has a similar meaning to what it was back in the 90s when I first was introduced to it.
What was it called then?
It was like the secondary trauma. It was something. It was an indirect something. It was, I don't remember, but I know it was like an indirect something, and I'm
Mm,
trying to remember, but it was in the 90s. So
I'm gonna
excuse my
call it
memory.
social empathy.
That's pretty much. So that's pretty much what it seems to me. Social empathy.
And
Oddly
shout
enough,
out.
when I think of that, I just feel like it's an indirect. You're being indirectly affected by somebody else's trauma
Mm,
is just weird to me.
Oh, wow.
Because I feel like it takes away from the actual person that is directly affected.
mm,
Although I do understand and acknowledge
mm,
that the person being directly affected does trickle down third party, is what I would call it,
mm,
trauma, which would be the secondary trauma to those around it, as like a tree with branches.
mm.
So I do acknowledge that, and you can take on and feel, but the intensity of it is to the direct person in my mind that was affected.
Mm. KP's, are you there? You miking out? KP, what
Oh
you
yeah,
think
I'm
of that
still here.
secondary? Huh? What you saying?
I'm still here. What you say?
What you think about that secondary trauma? Did you get to look it up?
Well, I deal with secondary trauma every day because of my
Fair
profession.
enough.
So
Fair enough.
taking in, hearing other people's stories and taking in all that stuff that they went through, it do take a toll on you sometimes. But you just gotta know how to separate and leave work at work. But then secondary trauma comes in the form is like in your friendships. You on the phone with your friend, and they telling you all this stuff about their spouse cheating or being abused and all that. And even though you're not physically being affected by it, because of the close proximity that you have with that person, you will start feeling some type of way about it. So it's like you gotta watch who you keep around you too.
I almost want to read. Well, shout out. I'm gonna say because the person that even I seen this from was Jeremy Peoples, one of my people that I actually been following and supporting for a minute. And when I was reading it, I almost want to read it, but there's so many words. Ugh, ugh, ugh. We're gonna pick it apart though. But yeah, traumatic breaking news everywhere. It ambushes us. The secondary trauma is a mental health threat. That's pretty much what they're saying. That it's actually a threat, and I think it's mainly just because of the internet. Like we see too much. So I think the biggest difference from it then and now is that it's almost like they took the sensors off of things, especially online. Because literally, you could just it just be like, "Are you 18?" and you just click yes. It doesn't matter if you're 18 or not. You just gotta click the thing, and you can see whatever things you shouldn't see, especially things that's not over here. Because them things that I be seeing online, I be like, I shouldn't even be seeing this. I'd be like, this is crazy. And for me, I'm a I feel like I'm a big empath, but I'm not a social empath too much not anymore. I think my personal life made me a little bit colder to that. So I'm be like, I got people in my personal life to care about. So if I see things around the world, I'd be like, that's sad, but what do you want me to do about it? I got all of this over here to take care of, not to be cold or, numb to anybody else's struggles, but, I wish you well. That's the best I could do for you. Like, that sounds kind of cold. It is. But the secondary trauma, aka what they say, compassion fatigue, which is different. I never heard it put that way. Compassion fatigue. What the hell does that actually? Like compassion fatigue. Now that one sounds a little bit cold to me. When I hear it that way, it's almost like you're seeing too much to the point where you're numb to everything. And when, well, Tiara, you did a study on that. Does that have anything to do with it? Is that kind of what it means, like to kind of be overstimulated in a
That's
way?
exactly what I was going to say. When you're overstimulated by something, it's
Mm,
like your body cannot process two pains at the same time. So it will always take one over the other. So if you're already
mm,
overstimulated and you feel everything, you technically still you can't feel anything more, so it wipes you out completely.
that's crazy. Man,
And then you become like numb to things
numb.
almost.
Yeah. Wow.
Because like dispatching for 911, I became cold to things because people die every day. People get shot every day. These things happen every day. So I was like, okay, this is just a norm until you remove yourself from it and you like step out of it and you see the
Yeah.
world, parents burying their kids and just all this. Then you begin to feel compassion. But then once you see it every day, you get fatigued because, well, this the people die every day. B is really a thing. Kids die, and it's like you become numb to what you shouldn't be numb to because it shouldn't
Yeah.
be an everyday occurrence. It should be a rarity, but it's not. And you don't allow your body time to bounce back or your mind because what you think in your
Mm,
mind affects your body. So you will become physically fatigued, physically drained just because your mind is overstimulated in that same manner.
facts. Big facts. Big facts. Some respect on that one. But damn, when I didn't even think about it that way the first time I read it. When it really just clicked more now because I was just like, because I was really thinking about myself in this situation. Like, I really might be compassion fatigue.
Mhm. Because you cared so much at one point,
Yeah,
it sort
I
of
think
wiped you out.
seen too much.
Hmm.
Just in life. Like I think another thing, like when we take it just further than just that, like I think certain people, because I connect to a lot of people, right, and I feel like the people that connect to me now either need me in their life because in my spirit I'm a healer, and I attract a lot of people that need healing. That's just a
Yep.
real thing. That's actually how this podcast even got started originally. Because I got tired of talking to people about the same things and over. Because it's almost like you're having the same conversation
Yep.
and sharing the same story over and over. So I was like, why don't I just put it on wax? Like I could just, especially I was like, what if because I got nephews that I was like, they was younger at that time. I was like, oh, what if they need me? They need some type of inspiration. I was like, God forbid something happened to me. I'm gonna record it. Go look
That
the
makes
video up.
sense. Hmm.
Go look me up when I talked about this certain topic. I'm like, oh, you having problems with your family? I already talked about family. You should
Yeah.
go look at that. Oh, you're struggling out here on your own. I already talked about struggling out here on your
Hmm.
own. So it's just like, but yeah, it's a mindset thing. But when you care, you kind of, I don't know, you gonna put them first. You gonna wanna Oh man, but to feel for others after a while, after you experience so much, that compassion fatigue is real, and that part is messing me up. Because then when you think about all the way of the world right now, it felt like the whole 2025, everybody was going through compassion fatigue. So
Yep,
that was a crazy year.
it was.
So secondary trauma, or like I say, secondhand. That's not my trauma. That's your bull.
Yep, yep.
That's a real thing right there. Um, but overall, I don't. How do you separate from it, or did they give any key aspects in the study of how to get away from it besides just running for the hills?
Well, the ways like to cope with it, because I don't think you ever really like get away from it once it's a part of you. But like
Mm,
meditation, setting time away, unplugging from things, the world, decompressing, and
mm,
really being mindful what you put in your mind, what you listen to, what you watch, what you feed your mind.
mm,
Ultimately, it alters. It has a big thing to do with the secondhand trauma,
mm.
because you can show up for someone better when you yourself are clear. Like your mind is clear, your heart is clear, right?
Mm,
So when you're seeing all these things going on, how do you show up for you? I
mm.
just looked
Good
at the news
question.
and saw all of this stuff. So what do I do with that now?
Crashed out.
You see, no, not exactly, but yes, you see. So now that I have all this information, what do I do with it? It starts to
Exactly.
change the way people move, the way they think, and then that's where that fatigue comes in at, because now you're overstimulated, you're overthinking, you're overreacting before things even happen to you, just because it happened around you, because you've seen it, because you heard it.
Mm. Mm.
So
What do you think it affects more, adults or children?
more. I don't know if it's a more effect. I think it affects everyone differently.
Mm,
I'd like to say that adults have the ability to handle it better than children, because children are still developing
that's
mentally,
a fact.
emotionally, intellectually. So when they lose, like my daughter in second grade, she lost a classmate to gun violence.
Mm,
That was really intense for her. It was intense for me too, because I knew the kid, but I was able to process it differently than she was,
mm.
because she's like 8, 9 years old,
Nah, that's
and
fair.
then they carry this with them through life. As opposed to me being an adult, something like that happening, I can prioritize it accordingly.
Just to play devil's advocate, that almost sounds harder if you don't know how to process it. You know what I mean? Like you
Yeah.
don't. This doesn't make sense. Why?
Hmm.
You know what I mean? Like
Yep.
that kind of sounds tough.
Yeah.
So like if you can't make it make sense, and it never will, because it just makes your emotions go from that to
Eh,
just feels unfair.
yes. And that's
That's
it.
how you get them dark kids, the ones that just
And that
not
is it.
care about anything. Damn, that's deep right there. That's sad. Damn. Ah, ah. Shout out to all of y'all out there, man. I hope that y'all find a outlet, something positive. I know that sounds cliche, but reading actually is a great outlet for those going through things, because you get to live through other people's story. You get to experience, and reading sometimes you feel like you lived it sometimes if your imagination is up there. So you get to share at least a better outlet, even though it's not yours necessarily, but you get a different perspective. Or get outside, Especially if you one of them aggressive mugs, you need to run. You'll do something athletic. You know, um, it's never too early to get into God either. If that's hey, hit that prayer, hit that prayer, hit that prayer. Hey, 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 hit that prayer, hit that prayer. Hey, amen. Ooh, hit that. I'm just saying. What else? Find you a mentor. Find you a mentor. Find somebody that's willing to listen and willing to help. Mentor. It's that easy. It's not easy, but it's that easy. You don't find what you don't go looking for. Be careful what you're looking for, as they say as well. Because it will find you. But yeah, I don't know. That's a heartfelt one. Man, that's one of those when you think about, oh, yeah, that's some compassion, start getting emotional, man. I don't want to be emotional right now, man. You lucky I ain't have a shot or something, because I'd have been like, listen, I gotta go. What's wrong with you? They cutting onions.